All right. Good morning, everybody. We are live. How is it going? Sorry for some of the technical difficulties or the hiccups. Just,
Yeah.
you know. But we're going to jump into a sprint really quickly and then come back and say hi because I have some updates to do on the website and various things. But before we do that, Diane, I wanted to give you a chance to introduce yourself.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. This is so exciting. I'm so excited. So I'm Diane. I make videos here on YouTube. I essentially just make vlogs where I kind of document, my life and my writing journey. I'm working on my first real attempt at a novel. It's a new adult contemporary, and yeah, that's pretty much me.
Awesome. Sorry. I'm so
So
sorry.
it's
I'm so
okay.
distracted
You're
right now.
amazing. Like you're amazing right now.
Um,
You're like working magic.
all right, but let's get into the first sprint. How long do you want to go for?
I mean, I'm good with whatever. I'm used to like doing 15 to start, but I'm good
Let's
with
do
however
15 to start then. That sounds great.
long.
We're going to just share the timer. And guys, I'm so sorry. I know we normally do a little bit of chit chats at the beginning, but I got some stuff to do real quick. So we're going to jump right into a 15-minute sprint. Pens at the ready, everybody. And we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Happy writing. All right, all right, all right. That is the timer going off. Oh, Diane, how'd you do?
I did okay. I got 293 words.
Nice. That's, what do you mean okay?
Yeah, I mean
That's
they're all
awesome.
bad, but they're there. They're there.
Oh, but isn't that what a writer's sprint's for? To get all the words onto the page? I updated, I think, knock on wood, everything that needs to be updated. So that is good. And I think I even had time. I even went into this live stream and put in some like tags and tried to search engine optimize it as best I could. So that feels like a
huge.
pretty productive sprint.
That's amazing. You're so on it. You're so on it.
I am on it, but unshowered. That's the state of my hair. Yeah.
You can breathe.
But feels good to be writing this morning. Yeah. All right, let's check in on who is here. What
I am trying
to
finish up this zero draft of the new adult contemporary that I'm working on. And last night I managed to finish. So I had like 12 scenes left to write. That's what I had. But last night I managed to finish 2 of them. So this morning I have 10 scenes left, and I'm currently working on a scene in chapter 19 of 24. So yeah, I'm like, it's like the final stretch. I'm feeling it. I can see the finish line. It's very exciting.
That's so exciting when things are getting close to the end and you're just like, oh my God, I'm almost there. I put a question up for everybody to answer in the chat if they want.
What are you working on currently?
So that's a great question. I haven't really thought about what I'm going to work on this morning. I actually think I'm going to work on a fantasy romance, which is like a whole new ball game for me. So I'm very excited about that. But I don't know which document I'm going to open, because you know what? I'm a one project at a time kind of gal. And the All the Queen's Renegades is like pretty much in final phases. I need to just send it to my sensitivity reader and then send it for another round, because I do like copy line edits, and then I do kind of like a copy line edit / proofread with the same editor, like another round. So that's kind of where I'm at. I just have to finalize the editing rounds, but
that's so exciting.
Yeah, it's super, super exciting. So the developmental edits are done. Kind of the first go through of copy line edits is done. And now I'm sending it to one of my an editor, and then sensitivity reader, and then it should be ready for November 30th, which is super exciting.
That's amazing. Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm super, super stoked. I'm so excited. But I am behind. Like, I wanted to have it sent to Shanice is my sensitivity reader. And we're actually, subtle plug, we're doing a session later this afternoon because she was going to come on to the Indieverse and is still going to come on to the Indieverse. But I thought this would be a really cool opportunity to talk about that. So like sensitivity reading. So yeah, it's me, her, and Sarah. I'm just kind of being the interviewer and asking the questions because I am not a sensitivity reader and I know very little about it, but I'm very excited for that. So I have to send it to her, and I'm behind on that. I actually wanted to do, well, I guess technically I'm not behind. I wanted to do that beginning to mid-September. So I'm still in that mid-September phase. Yeah. And I would have liked to do it earlier on in the process. But I just didn't have like a sensitivity reader lined up at that point, because I feel like, if there's more fundamental changes that need to be made, then it might be an issue. But like, hopefully, knock on wood, because I had folks sensitivity read parts of the first book, and this is a sequel. Like, I'm hoping that it doesn't need anything too substantial.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nearing the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So this new romance, fantasy romance, Is this like brand new? Like it's like still.
I think I did like a pop-up live stream and started writing it. And then I literally have an opening line. Well, I have words, but it's very,
Right.
very new. The reason I'm like so wishy-washy is because I have a sci-fi thriller that is like way further along in the process.
Mhm.
Um, that I want to finish, but I actually think it's like one of those stories that like it's such an awesome story, but I just don't think I'm there yet in my skill level to execute it. Cause like I read it, it's done. Like the zero draft is done. And I read it back and I'm like, oh, like the idea is so good, but this is falling so flat. So I think I need a few more books and then I'll go back to it.
Okay, that's fair.
I have a real problem writing stuff that's like based in like a world that's similar to our world. I'm just like so bad at it.
Right. Yeah, it's hard. It's great that like you have like the, self-awareness to be like, okay, I'm not quite ready to write this. Like it's really cool. I feel like I
Oh
don't know.
gosh, if you read it, you would be like, yeah, she's not ready to write this. I don't think it's, I mean,
Yeah.
it could be interpreted as some like deep self-awareness, but honestly, you just read it and you're like, wow, this is a pile of shit.
Oh, no. I don't believe it.
The idea is good though. The idea is good. I've like run the idea by many folks at this point now, and the idea is like awesome. I just like can't execute. So, we'll get there one day.
Yeah.
um,
I like it.
all right. It looks like there's a bunch of folks here, which is super,
Mhm.
super exciting. Good morning, everybody. So glad you made it. This was supposed to be a 2-hour sprint, right? Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
it was supposed to go till 10, I believe.
All right, so we are going till 10. And everything is updated down in the description box below, so you'll be able to go over to the next streams and all that. I love all of the writerly parents online who are saying like, drink your water, stretch. So Kelly, we appreciate that.
Mm.
All right, good morning, everyone. All right, I'm gonna skip through and go to the embarrassing stories if anybody has put an embarrassing story.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm sorry, the comments skipped. How many times does somebody say that? Like when they're speaking? The comments jump like crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to show all the comments on the screen. I know it's very quick, but good morning. Good morning. Okay, wait.
Oh.
Okay, here we are. I used to write Harry Styles fan fiction. Can't get more embarrassing than that. Harry Styles fan fiction was a huge fan of, though, so you're not on your own.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's embarrassing. I would say it's fan fiction.
Yeah. I wrote some embarrassing fan fiction.
Oh gosh, what fandoms did you write in?
Here. Okay. I wrote a lot of Buffy fan fiction.
Nice.
Which I still have. I'm gonna do a video reading some of my old fan fiction.
I was about to say, can you do a live reading right now?
Live? Oh my god, no, I can't do live. But I have a lot. So I did Buffy for a while. I did a lot of Green Day fan fiction. I was super into Green Day. I still love Green Day, but
Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Heck yeah.
So good. I think I wrote anyway, I got a lot of Green Day. Good Charlotte. I was really into Good Charlotte. I did.
Stop, my heart. I loved Good Charlotte. Middle school me was obsessed. Oh.
Dude, I love them.
What was your favorite song by them?
Oh my god, I don't even know. My favorite album though was their first album. Like
I don't know. They're like I'm too unfamiliar with Good Charlotte. I'm looking it up now. I'm too unfamiliar as an adult now.
Yeah, it's been a while to it takes a little bit for me to recall, but if you play a song, I'll sing all the lyrics, you know what I mean? It'll come back to me immediately.
I was a fan of The Young and the The Hopeless, is that what it was
Yes.
called? That album?
Yes.
The Anthem was my favorite song by them. I was like
Yes.
an angsty, like 12-year-old, and I was
That
like, I
was
relate to
good.
this. But like,
That was a good album. That was a
yeah.
good album for sure. Yeah, what else? Oh my God, there's a lot more.
I
I
wrote Dragon Ball Z fan fiction and Justice League fan fiction, so fan
That's
fiction writers unite.
amazing. I never got into Dragon Ball Z. So the fact that like you wrote fan fiction about it is insane. That's crazy.
Hey, the fact that you wrote fan fiction about Good Charlotte, oh my God, I didn't discover fan fiction until later. I feel like 12-year-old, like, I feel like I was in middle school when I was like in love with Good Charlotte. And I feel like middle school me would have loved to have written fan fiction about Good Charlotte had I known
It
that existed.
it was, oh my God. I don't know. I don't know how, like, why, like, I don't remember like discovering fan fiction. Like, I don't know if I knew that that's what I was doing. I think I just wanted to like write down my little like daydreams or whatever about things, like these little,
Mm.
um, but yeah, there was a lot.
That's so funny because you hear lots of people like you who just kind of wrote fan fiction and didn't even know it was fan fiction, whereas I like discovered fan fiction and I was like, oh shit, you can do this? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I remember like discovering it later and like realizing that like what was the big website, fanfiction.net or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People have been telling me lately that fanfiction.net is dead and it's all about Wattpad and archive of our own. And I'm like, but fanfiction.net was my home.
That was like the OG. Oh, I also wrote a lot of Michael Jackson fan fiction. That's probably the most embarrassing for me.
You have a lot of music fan fiction, eh?
I do. It's a lot of the only like other shows I think were like I did a little bit of Big Bang Theory fan fiction. Um and then I think I did Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ooh, nice. I have the best Pirates of the Caribbean fan fiction that I've ever read linked. And by best, I mean it's just like the most ridiculous thing, but like I am obsessed with it. I can send it to you.
I do. I love, oh my God, my like guilty pleasure right now. I hope nobody judges me, but my guilty pleasure is I'll occasionally go and read like really bad Post Malone fan fiction.
Really? I love Post Malone.
I adore.
He's such a cutie.
Anyway, yeah, he's lovely. So
Yeah.
that's like my little guilty pleasure. I go on Wattpad at night and I'm like, okay, let's see what we got here.
Oh, that's so fun. All right. Nina says, I color coded by literary agent list. I always forget who is from which agency. So now I always know. Nice. More
Smart.
people are getting here. At least it wasn't Justin Bieber fanfic. Does that make it less embarrassing? I wrote a cheesy love story on Instagram when I was like 12 or 13. I thought I knew how every 16-year-old lives. Turns out, no, not at all. Yeah, cheesy. I feel like because when I was like in middle school and high school, like I was writing books and I feel like I knew how like romance, like maybe when I was younger too, like more like middle school, I was like, yeah, they're falling in love. And I'm like, I've got such a weird view of what like that means to be in love. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to go back and read like these old stories because you really get like a sense of the way that you perceive the world, you know?
Yeah.
Things.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have like an old story that I wrote from years ago. Like I think I wrote it when I was 13 and then I rewrote it like multiple times in my teenage years. And like it was handwritten at first. And I look back on that, I'm like, how? And I'm like, I know how, I didn't have a computer. But yeah, it's so interesting going back and reading. It really does tell you, I guess, about your past self.
Yeah. I remember I wrote it wasn't okay. Me and like my girlfriends at the time were really like we really liked a lot of like my older brother's friends. So I wrote like a little fan fiction of like that world. And I was reading it the other day and it was interesting to like see the vernacular, like the way that like I spoke,
Mm-hmm.
the way that like my characters would speak, because I was so it was such a reflection of like the way my brother would speak and stuff. Like just like it was so interesting. It was
Reading it, did you kind of, because if it's if it kind of sounded like how your brother spoke and not necessarily you, does that mean you like admired your brother and like
I don't know. I mean, I did to an extent, but I think it was just because like that's just like what I was used to. Like I was just so used to hearing that around that like I don't know. It's super embarrassing. But
do you
it's
have
interesting.
I'm just so curious now because I find my speech is very malleable. Like if I hear people using certain slang, I start using certain slang. So like if I'm talking with a bunch of like British folks and they start using words like brilliant, I'll start using words like brilliant, and then I'm like, oh my god, I my sister too. My sister uses a lot of slang that I just like, or like she just uses a lot of word choices that I typically wouldn't use. And then when I'm around her, there's always like end of day 1 or 2, I like she's saying something and then I'll say something back. And I'm like, wow, I sounded just like you when I said that.
I am absolutely like that. When I like the way that I talk to like certain friends or like, you know, my parents or my but like it's definitely different. Like it definitely you kind of have to like meet them on the same level almost. I don't know.
Totally. It's just like you talk to your friends different than you talk to people at work.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody's got that, like, I call it a teacher voice, but it's also like everybody's got like that teacher voice, you know, when they're trying to like give a presentation or just talk to someone who, I don't know, a colleague or something like that. You kind of put on your like, any
like
teachers out there, you know, the teacher voice.
Yeah, and like your phone voice. I feel like you have a different, like when you call somebody, like when you're calling in, like you have a different phone voice.
All right. I don't know where we're at on the comments, but I saw this and I laughed. Justin Bieber is Canada's Harry Styles, right? I would actually say that Harry Styles is the UK's Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Who came first?
J. Biebs, obviously.
Yeah.
But yes, Sarah, totally. Justin Bieber is Canada's Harry Styles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I named the love interest after my crush at the time. Well, one of my classmates read it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I once wrote a comedic erotic fanfic about 2 teachers and they both read it. I went to religious middle school, so I got in school suspension for a week.
Oh no.
That is such a great embarrassing grading story. So good. I bought a book when I was 11 to 12 and I didn't know it was adult. I was reading it at school and one of those scenes came up. I flung the book away and couldn't explain myself in case I got in trouble.
That's amazing.
That's so funny. Hey, good sense as an 11 to 12-year-old to be like, this content is too mature for me, but also at 11 to 12-year-old, yes, that's a very, very good sense.
Yeah.
I was not that mature when I was 11 to 12 years old. I'd be like, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
I've read an adult book while in school as well. So shocked when I reached one of those scenes in the middle of my science class. My teacher took the book off me as well. Oh my God.
Oh no. So good.
I hid the book in case my mom found it and donated it as soon as I could.
Get rid of the evidence.
Yeah, get rid of the evidence. All right. Okay, so I'm going to skip through some of these because everyone's just saying hi and coming in. Yeah, definitely. There's just some books that it's like not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I say park the crappy draft for a long time so you can go back and see it with less maternal eyes and know where the issues are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fantasy romance time. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So as a freshman in high school, I was in a slower English class because I was terrible academically. I didn't like reading, but loved writing and creating. Needless to say, my English teacher saw this and introduced me to Percy Jackson series. Thus, my first book love was born. Not only was I a high schooler reading a middle school book, but I was also geeking out about it with my teacher's 12-year-old son. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. I feel like well, not everybody, but I feel like for the folks who weren't necessarily readers all along, there's like some people that just have a book that they read and it was like so pivotal for them and then it just like switches everything.
I love that.
Do you have like a book that you read that was like, this is like, I want to write this, or like, this is what makes me want to read, or like that moment? Did you ever have that moment? I don't
I
know.
did. I have a very specific book that it's the first book I remember reading where I was like, yeah, I want to do this. Like, this is what I want to do. And that is, I don't remember how old I was. Definitely like elementary school, so younger, 12 and under. Um, it's The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton.
I haven't read it.
Oh my God. Okay. I had to read it in school for whatever class. And that book is so good. And it's been made into a movie.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
excellent.
Googling it.
It's super interesting because so S.E. Hinton, she was 16 when she wrote it.
Damn. All these
Right?
teen authors love it.
Like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's incredible to me. So
That
amazing. It's so good.
Christopher Paolini's Aragon was kind of like that for me. And Christopher Paolini was also a teen author.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. Like, that's insane. Like,
So
what?
crazy.
Like, I wasn't writing books at 16. I was writing, fan fiction, like really bad fan fiction.
But we love fan fiction. Oh gosh.
It's so good.
Um, okay. Diane for fan fiction anthology. Yes. All right. So I'm just gonna skip through some of these. I think we should do a sprint
Mm-hmm.
personally, and then we can get to the answers. Like, I like this question. What have you learned about yourself from your writing? And let's sprint, and then everybody, if you want to answer that question while we sprint, we can get to all those after. So I don't know. How long are you feeling?
We could do a longer one. Get some work in.
Do we want to do like 20 minutes? I'm obsessed with doing 2012 because it's the end of the world. So,
Yeah, man. I like it.
all right.
I dig it.
Whoa, you're gone.
Bye.
All right, everybody, we've got 20 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock. Pens at the ready, everyone, and we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Happy writing. I forgot I was wearing headphones before, and it was only when the timer went off that I realized. Awesome. Hello, Amara. Okay, wait. I have a question. Amara or Amara? Which is it?
I think
Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, so apparently my headphones, which are downstairs, my computer somehow still connected to them. So why can't I hear anything?
Oh, that's so funny. Oh no, I was just asking, is it Amara or Amara?
Amara.
Amara. Okay, because my mom, okay, so here's the thing. My mom, this goes back to my mother. So this is a story. But my mom always, and I love her dearly, but she always pronounces she pronounces vowels wrong in people's names. And I'm like determined not to be the person that does not do that. Like my sister's name is Michelle, and I guess like technically my mom named her, so she's right. But she will always be like, "Oh, Michelle, Michelle, Michelle," and I'm like, "Mom, everyone calls her Michelle. She calls herself Michelle." Anyway, she just like, or like instead of saying Sarah, she'll say Sarah, or instead of saying Sarah, she'll say Sarah. Like she's just notorious for it. I love her dearly. So I always ask because I'm always like, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to mess up vowels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but also good morning. I'm going to just take the banner down for a quick moment so everyone can see your name and so that you can introduce yourself. Once I figure out how to do this. There we go.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm Amara, and I'm totally fine if you call me Amara. It's okay. I'm not offended. So I am Amara Franklin. I'm the one that is perpetually late for apparently everything in life. So I don't know. We had some technical issues this morning, and but I am here. I don't really know. I hate introductions because I never know like what to say other than hi. I am.
So many people have such good introductions. Oh, what was I going to say? And also technical issues. I know you sent me a message saying like, "Oh, it's been like since you've worked from home," and like same.
When I made a modem, and when I started working from home, I don't understand. I work for an internet company. Okay, I have the fastest internet that like you can have, and yet because we've had to move our modem, like it drops off all the time. I don't.
Sometimes it's the actual hardware. Like I remember like here we've got really fast internet. And the problems for us sometimes is actually more the applications. But at my parents' house, the problem's their hardware. Their modem like turns off and you have to go, not turns off, but it like does some funky stuff and you have to go and like restart it a very specific way. It's not the actual internet. Anyway.
Yeah, we have these little pod things, and I think that that's the problem, is that because I have to like hardwire my work computer, which I can't do because it's for work. So I had to hardwire that. So I had to get these little things that are supposed to amplify the signal, and I can hardwire into it. Ever since then, the only thing that works really well is the work computer. So everything else just cuts out. Anyways, but I am here. I have no great introduction other than hello, I am me. I write. If you want to know what I write, I'm writing a novel, which is kind of on hold, but right now I'm writing a pilot for a TV show, which is taking far too long. That's what I'm working on. I'm hoping to finish during these sprints the outline for Act 3.
That's so exciting. What was I gonna say? What was I going to say? Oh, the introduction thing. Sorry. On the introduction thing, I also don't have a good introduction, but some people on YouTube have like the best introductions. Like, I don't know. Do you guys watch Savvy Writes Books, who does like book writing / MLM, anti-MLM stuff? like, what's up, small business owners? Oh my God, it's so good. I'm like, stop.
What I don't know how to say is hi, friends. I think I have a cute like ending thing, but like my intros, you should see every time I sit down to do a sit down video, it's like 10 minutes of me saying hi, friends, and then like the rest of the video, and then I'm done.
Wait, so what's your outro? Let's hear it now. I'm also going to get away from the Indieverse. There we go.
Because I do like both writing and reading videos, I'll end it with go write some words and read a book. And I'll
I like that. That's cute.
I like Diane's outro. Great gold. I love it. Like a piece. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, gotta stay gold.
Okay, so we had some questions up on the screen as prompts. Also, sorry, how did you guys do that, Sprint? I got a piece of cake for breakfast and a coffee.
That's amazing. I looked at the kitchen and I was like, I could make something, but then I got lazy. I got 185 words though.
That's awesome. I also, sorry, side note, I also did things. Like most of it was just coordination stuff, but yes, I also did things, but I also got breakfast and coffee. I'm not just like eating cake.
That's productive to me. I love that.
Sounds like
if that was all you did.
I think it's a great time of day. I think that's a great idea. I got well, I'm here, so that's my productive part because I arrived, and I got I don't know this much done.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
I find that for me, I wrote out an outline for the whole thing ahead of time, but because I had some structure issues in the beginning, that I'm finding it's easier if I outline the next act after I finish the first one. So that way, if I because I kind of piece things together and I move things around, so it's been working faster if I do it that way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Sorry, I'm just seeing there's a whole bunch of comments, which is super fun. And some of them are really fun. Oh, you guys did not hold back on your embarrassing writing/reading stories. Love it. I'm going to hop into some of these because, wait. Here we go. So, I'm sorry, there's a lot, so we're just going to pick through some of them, but I wish I had embarrassing stories. I was the sort of youth that did nothing if society told me it was weird. Oh. I was in a reading slump in my preteen years. I used to read all the time as a little child, and then I found a copy of The Hunger Games I'd been handed down and hadn't touched in a year. I read it because I was bored, and I will always thank The Hunger Games for reinstating my love for reading. And I've been a crazy book lover so much more so than before since then.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, Amara, you're being hidden by the comments. Just like, there you go. I self-published my book when I was 16. Then I unpublished it and reworked it and published when I was 18. But I was writing novels starting back when I was 8. That is awesome. And Sarah's been lurking.
I love it.
We love lurkers. I used to lurk on these streams like long before I started on AuthorTube. Long before I started, like a few months before I started. Let's be real. I'm just being dramatic here. Long before I started, I used to lurk. I also used to lurk on fanfiction.net for like years before I started posting. I was like a little gremlin. Like I used to stay up. It was such a problem, actually. I actually think I had a problem with fanfiction, and it's a whole thing. Like I actually think it was, not to get too much into it, but at the time when I was writing fan fiction, I was also suffering from kind of the worst periods of mental health that I've ever had in my life. And I think fan fiction became a super unhealthy coping mechanism, like super unhealthy. Like I used it basically to completely distract me from everything, but to the point where like I couldn't do anything else other. It was like not good. Anyway, so I've got like this weird relationship with it because I love fan fiction, but that was kind of the last time I wrote it seriously. And it's like I used to just like not sleep and use fan fiction to like keep my mind off things, and it was just like I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
So,
I feel
I
that.
do love fan fiction though. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. I love it for what it is. I think it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've never done fan fiction, but I think it's because I've never loved anything so much that I'm like, I have to write something for this. I think I'm just like, oh, that's cool. I don't think I've ever had anything that I was that passionate about, which I think is actually kind of depressing.
No, I think
But
so.
it's all yeah, not depressing. And then also like some folks write it like there's kind of almost like two different kinds of fan fiction writers, like people who write in one particular fandom and that is their fandom because they're super passionate about their fandom. And then there's people who write in like all different fandoms just because they kind of like it and it's like a like it's like, oh, I like this, I'll write a fan fiction about it. It's less like I love this thing.
Yeah.
You know? My husband has all these ideas, right? And I get on him all the time because he will come up with 50 ideas a week, but he won't focus on even one of them. But so he just has all these great ideas all the time, and so many of them are like fan fiction type things, or like, oh, I don't like the way this one thing happened, so this is how I would do it better. And he comes up with all these amazing ideas that are all like great stories, and then tomorrow he'll have another great story.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's got a lot of great ideas. He has books of them, so
that's crazy.
What? I know.
Take some.
Cool. And I'm like, just pick one and write it, and we'll be famous.
Oh my god!
I have good ideas. He has really good ideas. He just has zero follow through.
Oh my gosh! Get on him. Get that follow through.
Yeah, it is you can't force somebody to be.
Yeah.
Creative. So.
Yeah. Dang. That's good.
All right, I'm skipping to the next question that we had up here because I saw some answers. So Kelly says, I learned that with writing, a broken little girl at the time could have the power to create worlds and characters she wanted to be around. Writing is a great coping mechanism. Yes, writing is a great coping mechanism. Don't let it turn into an unhealthy coping mechanism like fan fiction did for me. I would not sleep or eat to write fan fiction because it was the only thing that helped. Anyway, it was a whole thing. I wrote a novel once in the 5th grade. It was handwritten because there were no computers in our school yet, and my sister sold it to a friend for $8, and I never saw it again. Well, you just learned capitalism. That's what you learned.
That's what?
I don't
say someone bought their work when they were in the 5th grade. That's amazing.
Yeah. Also, I admire your sister's hustle.
Yeah.
I admire you for writing a book.
Yeah.
Also, I just admire Eva because Eva is a wonderful human being. But that's $8. Damn. I wish I made $8 on a book. I don't.
Yeah. That's insane.
And think about the little girl who bought it for $8. I'm so impressed with some little girl that was that thinks that, somebody else's book, not even one in the library or something, but somebody else's book that they wrote by hand is so amazing that they're going to spend $8 of their, think about how long it probably took a 5th grader to earn $8 in allowance.
Yeah.
To buy you a book. That's so cute.
That's so true.
That's adorable.
A little book dealer. I love it. I didn't write again until high school. So also we're running out of time. So everybody let us know how long you want to go for the next sprint. It has to be between 5 and 13 minutes. That's my restriction. Pick a time between there. And as a writer, I tend to write more adventure/quest stories that are typically fantasy because Piscean escapism. I don't know that word. I can procrastinate all I want, but somehow I pull it together to reach my deadline. I work best under pressure with a massive challenge. Yes, that is me. I agree.
Sometimes. It depends what it is. It depends.
I think I trained myself to get good at doing this during when I went to university, I wouldn't say I was the best. Most studious student at the beginning. I definitely was not. Third and fourth year, I loved my classes. Don't get me wrong. It's just I had other priorities. I was working like 2 jobs and like friends and all of that stuff. And like class seemed to be like the least tangible of everything. Tangible. I just pronounced it like my mom pronounces it. The least tangible of everything. Because I don't know, like at work, you saw your work product. With friends, like you actually were like hanging out and doing things. And then at school, you just had to like read papers and stuff and submit stuff and take tests. I don't know. Anyway, I became a better student.
That's good. That's what's important.
Well, it's because I discovered I actually liked what I was studying. And I always knew I liked what I was studying. It was just, I became more serious about it. I also stopped working 2 jobs when I like did my master's degree. So
right.
Helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So what did you study? Where do you have your master's in?
So I did environmental science as my undergrad, and then I did a master's of engineering. So I'm not an engineer, but I did, because I don't have my like undergrad in engineering, but I did a master's of, no, not master's of engineering. I did a master's of science in environmental engineering. So basically it was a program that had a lot of engineers in it, and there were like there were probably 40 people, but like 10 of us weren't engineers. So it was interesting because it was like a combination of very technical, but also like, I bet like half my classes were super technical and half were so like meta, if that makes sense, and like transboundary water agreements and stuff like that, which was really fun.
That's so cool. I would love to study environmental science.
Oh, it was really fun, but I studied it in the era. I would love to study it again now, because I studied it in the era. Now it's all about climate change adaptation and mitigation. So like, yes, the climate is going to change. It's inevitable. But the climate is going to change and it's our fault. But how are we as the human species going to adapt to that? And how are we going to have our planet adapt to that? So now that's when I studied environmental science. This was like 10 years ago? No, 9 to like 5 years ago. I don't know, like, you know.
Yeah.
Early 2000 teens. It was very much about how, you know, the climate's changing and we're screwed. Like that was it. That was the conversation. It was the science behind climate change. And then it was basically, and we're screwed. Like, here's the science of why the planet is changing and the deserts are going to get desertier and the storms are going to get stronger and the sea levels are going to rise. And like, that's it. We're screwed. So like now the conversation has changed, because I think that was the period where folks were realizing that this was certainly 100% going to happen. Sorry, guys, we're not limiting our, it's just not going to happen. There's a whole bunch of reasons I could get into why things that even if we stopped all emissions today, we're still screwed, but we're not screwed. That's the wrong mentality, because now it's all about how are we going to adapt. Anyway, sorry guys, I'm distracting. I can talk about this for a very long time.
I love it. I could listen to it for a very long time.
Oh, Devin, coming through, the secret word. And Mara, do you want to announce the secret word?
Yes, I think you remember. Are we still going with my secret word, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it was latte, because, I mean, if you spend any time on my channel or know me at all, everything in my life is coffee. So the secret word is latte.
Oh, I love it. Latte.
Who's going to make more coffee? Yes, I have like a very small amount this morning, but my French press is now ready. So.
Ooh, French press. I like it.
Because this is where I basically spend 90% of my time. I have this whole, you can't see it over here because it's messy, but I have a whole coffee station over here. I have a little electric kettle and a French press and coffee and creamer. Like I have powdered creamer and then but my good creamer is downstairs. And I have one of those little like electric foamer thingies.
Oh, fancy.
That is so fancy. I'm also mad jealous. We don't have any like, I don't drink, well, caffeine, but we're back on the caffeine a little bit. But I love coffee, like just the ritual of having coffee. So like decaf and all that. But before we jump into the next sprint, we're going to do a sprint to end off. So we'll basically start the sprint and then go till just before 10, and then we'll come back and everybody will shift to the next sprint. But I spent a lot of time talking about environmental science because this is kind of what I do. But I thought like maybe it'd be cool because I know you guys are doing cool things too. So why don't you talk about some of the things that you're doing or some of the passions that you have? What's your passion? Actually, here's the question. I'm going to put it on a banner. What is the passion that you have outside of writing?
Okay.
I'm wondering if I should say the thing that you guys both know, because I haven't filmed the video yet, and the announcement hasn't officially come. So I'm just going to say it, and then the people that are here will already know, but you can't say anything. So if you're watching the live stream, you can't say anything, because it's so kind of a secret, but if you spend even any time on my Instagram, it's not really a secret. I am starting a book box, a monthly subscription box for indie books to help promote and get readers to fall in love with indie books and working with small like Etsy brands or like small businesses and stuff like that. So that's extremely exciting and taking up all of my time. So I haven't been writing much because I've been spending so much time working on that project, and I love it so much. So
I'm so excited.
So exciting. There's like I've looked for indie boxes before, and the options are limited. I'm just going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I found one, and I think the store is closed. And then I don't know. I was on your Discord, and when I was first talking about it, and there's a girl in your Discord that was saying that whoever ran this was like super mean. So
yeah.
Nice one. But yeah, it's coming into its own. Like I'm figuring things out. I started a conversation with my first other brand that will be in the box. So I actually have somebody that's going to be creating something to go inside of it. And
that's
I have
so exciting
writers. I am actually looking for a wintry type book. So if anybody knows or has written a wintry, it doesn't have to be Christmassy, but it can be Christmassy. But I need something for the December box because I know the book that's going in November, and I know the book that's going in January.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know the one for December. So if anybody knows of a wintry type book, send them my way.
I'm just looking up because there's another book box that I follow that I think is great. They're super lovely. You know what? I'll do it after. I'll send it to you. All right, Diane, what is a passion you have outside of writing?
I guess it would be film. It would be working in film. I work in props, and I love props. So I guess that, I mean, I have a lot of other passions, but definitely the work that I do in film and television. I'm actually going back to work at the end of the month. So
Can you tell us what you're working on, or is that top secret? We're not allowed to know.
No, I think I can tell you. So it's a new series called Why the Last Man. It's based on a graphic novel. And yeah, I mean, that's all, I know very little about it. I haven't read the script yet, but yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I like it. I'm really looking forward to going back, and I'm interested to see what the new kind of norm is on set, because it's going to be very different now with all the new COVID-y things. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like.
Yeah. All right. And on that note, let's do a 10-minute sprint. Sorry, I know I asked everyone, but we're just over because we only have 11 minutes left. So that'll give us time to jump back in and point you guys towards the next stream. Yeah. So, All right, pens at the ready, everybody. We've got 10 minutes on the timer, and we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Happy writing. All right, everybody, that is time. How did the sprint go? Oh gosh, let me turn off this timer. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. There we go. Awesome. So before we get into how the sprint went, I just want to let everybody know this sprint is part of a larger collab for the day. That is the AuthorTube virtual retreat. It started yesterday, is happening today. I have linked the next sprint as well as the next workshop. Both are starting basically right now in the chat. And you can find the entire retreat on the website, AuthorTube, not AuthorTube, atvirtualretreats.com. So if you click on that link, every single session is there, and you'll be able to watch sessions after they have already run. So don't worry about like having to scramble to get to everything. For anybody who doesn't know what the secret word is, we did say the secret word earlier, but I just wanted to explain it. At each one of these sessions, you can get a secret word and basically write those down. We have a printout you can use on the website if you want. And then at the end of the retreat, there is a feedback form. And if you fill in that feedback form and include secret words, they're entries. Basically, the number of secret words is the number of entries you get into a draw for there's four $15 Amazon gift cards you can win. So last time, just to give, I haven't even given numbers before. At the last retreat, we had 27 people fill out the feedback form, and each of those people had like, I don't know, like between 5 and 10 secret words. So we had so many entries, and we did end up drawing 4 winners. Only 2 winners, guys, I'm saying this now, only 2 winners claimed their prize. So if you were at the last retreat, check your emails because you might have a $15 Amazon gift card sitting in your inbox. And so the secret word, again, that you can collect for the AuthorTube virtual retreat is?
Latte.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome. So now, how'd you guys do this sprint?
French press. Yay.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I didn't do any writing, but I made my bed and I started to make breakfast.
Nice. I did some retreat admin.
Mm-hmm.
I finished outlining like the first part that I started when we started the sprint thingy, and then I outlined the next scene that was going to happen. And I need a funny word, like a word that sounds funny when you say it. Because so this scene has basically my main character is coming in back home. She hasn't been there in a long time. She doesn't recognize that the bartender that's serving her is her best friend from high school because he used to be really chubby and now he's super hot. And but they have this thing where they will say funny words to each other. And so as he's serving her a drink, he says a funny sounding word. I don't know what I want. And it comes from my best friend in high school when I used to do that. So for years, we would just randomly call each other and say a word, or text each other a word, or drunk dial funny words to each other more often than not. But I need a funny sounding word, and I can't find one, so I just wrote insert funny word into my outline.
Yes. A lot of my draft is like that. Just like brackets, do this. Something good.
And we found a friend.
So cute.
Say hello.
Oh my God.
You're cold. Yes, you are.
I love it. Is Keelan frozen?
I was like, she's deep in thought.
Yeah. I hope she's okay.
I stumped her with my funny word.
I know. That's hard though. I mean, I know of a lot of funny words, but I can't think of it.
Started the night we graduated high school. My mom decided to get us a bottle of it was like peach schnapps or like apple schnapps or something like that. And we sat outside for like 3 hours. And when you're in high school and you don't drink, it does not take much peach schnapps to get you rather inebriated. So we sat outside for like 3 hours just talking about words that are funny. And so basically any word that you say will sound funny when you say it.
Yeah. Keelan, you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good. It's just I had the other streams that are starting right now open, and so when they started to open, my computer, it's not the newest computer, decided to crash a little bit. But I think I'm not sure what you guys were chatting about, but there is another sprint and another workshop starting, so I think we close it off here. And thanks for coming, everyone. Really appreciate it. And Diane, Amara, I'll let you guys say your outros.
Oh gosh, I didn't prepare one.
Make one up. Sing a song right now on the spot.
Yeah. Okay. Nobody wants that. Nobody. Yeah. Thank you. This was excellent. This was amazing. I love that you do this, and thank you.
Oh, shoot. 1 second. Sorry guys, I didn't link your channels. I'm going to link them right now. This is, I meant to do that last sprint and put them in the description, but I didn't. Because everybody who's here should definitely go follow these lovely people who make amazing content. Sorry, Amara, you can do your outro while I try and do this.
Like my outro? Like,
your final words.
My final
words.
Thank you so much for having me. This was definitely so much fun, and I definitely appreciate you having me on this. I think what you're doing is amazing, and I look forward to seeing the rest of the streams. And we're all going to go write lots of words together, but we're not reading books today. We're just writing.
I did a reading sprints last night.
Okay. Yes. Get it.
At one of the live streams. Okay, cool. Both the channels are linked, so everybody who's here, make sure you go subscribe and like all the videos. And with that, we will head out. Also, the next events, description box, chat, website, all that jazz. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.